We're here today at the counter-protest, which was meant to be a counter-protest to a lot of what many would regard as the far-right fascists coming into Whitechapel. They were then banned and moved to West London. That's where they're gathering. Stay with us and we'll get a flavour of what's going on over here.
The Muslim community stood up for all our free speeches. A month ago, Tommy Robinson came to central London and denied free speech to every other women, young people, anybody he disagreed with, took the streets over and threatened us. Today, the Muslim communities opened up the whole of Tower Hamlets and said everybody's welcome, everybody can speak, and also stood up for democracy. And I think what happens is that people falsely caricature the Muslim community are the people that have been the main people that stood up against for democracy in this country.
What has happened to our humanity that we blame those people who are the victims of war, human rights abuse and environmental degradation? They did not cause any of these problems. It's inequality, injustice and the rich that have caused these problems.
Well, the policies will be developed obviously as time goes on, and so the details don't yet exist. But the broad strategy is, one, social and economic justice. That means, for example, an end to the two-child benefit cap, an end to the threat on personal independence payments. It means compensating the WASPy women. It means bringing about real social justice, particularly for poor children. Also, housing policy, which is about regulation and control of the private rented sector, building council housing, and not allowing London to become the plaything of big business developers which are socially cleansing every inner London borough. This one, my borough, Hackney and all the others. And the Mayor's proposal to reduce the Minister's proposal rather, to reduce the requirement on social housing and big developments is an absolute disaster. What we need is much more council housing, and we also, if I may say so, whilst I recognise many people live in housing association properties, what we need is democracy in the running of housing associations rather than allowing them to become property companies.
Jeremy, this sounds like something Green Party is working towards as well. Can we see a collaboration between the Green Party and your party in the future?
Where we're agreed on policies, absolutely, of course. It's not about a competition for perfection. It is about unity to achieve good outcomes for working class communities and the poorest people in our society. And so we will be at a local level, obviously working with people. So here in Tower Hamlets, where there is a very strong presence of independents, we're not in competition with the independents, quite the opposite. Many of those independents have already joined the party anyway, so we're going to be working with them exactly the same in Broxtowe, in Liverpool, in Manchester, in Bristol, and so on all over the country. And next weekend, I'm down in the far southwest in Falmouth, looking at the sea there with a big rally. Hopefully we get to see a beach as well.
What's your plan about refugees coming through the boats and everywhere? The government has no plan. They're messing about. What's your party policy about?
My view on the people coming by boat from Calais is, first of all, treat them as decent, ordinary human beings, which is exactly what they are. I've been to Calais on quite a few occasions. I've been in the tents there and I've spent a lot of time talking to people, some from Afghanistan, some from Iraq, other places all over, some even from Palestine. And they've all been through hell in their lives. They all want to make a contribution in their lives. And they are desperate. There are 70 million people around the world without a place or a home to call their own. The rich countries seem to think they can either buy their way out of their human rights obligations or simply put up electric fences and razor wire and keep the refugees and the poor out. History is going to be very harsh on the behaviour of Western European and North American politicians over the war in Palestine, over the treatment of refugees. So my plea, which you heard in my speech today, was let's have some humanity towards it and recognise tomorrow, those people are coming by boat. They're going to be our taxi drivers. They're going to be our teachers. They're going to be our doctors. They're going to be our nurses. They're going to be our repair workers. They are here to make a contribution to our society. Let's have some humanity about it.
The message today was unity and diversity, and it was a real celebration. The council, our mayor, all the councillors, all parties, there were over 50 organizations part of this coalition, part of the United Eastern, that came together for this unity demo. And it was people, shob race or shob religious beliefs, non-beliefs, shobai ekhoto hoyson, shob boyshko loya, shuto bachchain loya, families, onek manush aison, shara Whitechapel, mani road hol shob block hoyse, just for everyone to come together. Onek inspiring speeches hoya dewa hoyse. Ar shobor maze ekta ekhotti hoya amra shara community ekhan hoya aisi. Brilliant hoyse, and আমরা always stand hormu together. আর খালি আমরা ইস্ট লন্ডন টা হামলেটস তো মানুষ নাই, লন্ডন টা হামলেটসের বাইরে ভারতনে ওইয়া মানুষ আইছেন ইউনিটি দেখাইবা লাগি. So we will always stand together against all the far right, the racism and everything, and fight together. Thank you.
Thank you to Islam Channel for covering today, because we need the media establishment, the political establishment, to see the diversity and strength in the East End of London. We stand proudly united in our traditions of solidarity, of community action, where, you know, it doesn't matter what background we are from. You've seen the diversity today. I've been with Bangladeshi women and other women in the local area throughout the whole day, because we're very clear we will not be divided. We will not have the politics of fear sown within us. We will stand back and fight, and we will make sure that we send the message loud and clear that we are here to stay. And we fought for our rights before. We've had to, as communities here. The Jewish communities did so in 1936 at the Battle of Cable Street. The Bangladeshi community did in the mobilization in the anti-fascist struggle in the 1970s when Altab Ali was murdered just a stone's throw away from here. In the 90s when the communities came together on the Isle of Dogs, when the BNP elected a councillor, women were involved in that struggle. And, you know, we've mobilized in other ways as well, including in the Iraq War, against the Iraq War in 2003. So we stand in those proud traditions of protest, of standing together when we face attack. And so it's so important, whether we are parliamentarians in elected positions or not, to come out and to really send a message and to stop the far right from spreading their hate.
This is what Hamlets is. We are a very diverse borough. 140 plus languages are spoken in our borough. It shows the strength of our heritage and our diversity. This is what London and this country is, ladies and gentlemen. Black or white, people of faith or no faith, trade unions or non-trade unionists. We are united to fight fascism. We are united to fight the far right. We did so, our forefathers, our brothers did so in the 70s and 80s. When the fascists used to march down Brick Lane, our older brothers and our fathers and our uncles stood against them, supported by the communities, stood against the National Front, stood against the BNP. I am grateful to all the organizations for coming together, opposing racism, division and fascism. I'm grateful to the police also working with the Hamlets Council.
To stand up not only today, but beyond today, inshallah. Make sure that we're one and that we remember that this is our council, our borough, our streets. Whose streets? Whose streets?